It's your girl Q Chi-Town here, and welcome to another installment of the A-List Alert, coming on behalf of the Kies Expressions Publisher slash Multimedia Division. We are doing big things in the Midwest, you guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Go below this video, hit that notification bell. That way you know when I do new uploads. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much. You're part of the 212,000K views, both in the US as well as overseas, you guys. And guess who is on the runway today, you guys? WGCI! WGCI is in the building. As you guys know, Doug Banks and Tom Joyner did a wonderful, wonderful time when they presented the music to the people, and their legacy lives on through the music. And in Chicago, born and raised, west side of Chicago, we carry that torch for them in music. And I really, really, really appreciate their legacy that they gave to the world through music. So thank you again, WGCI, for coming through the door and supporting the A-List Alert Network TV. I want to say hello to all the 194 well-wishers. They wished me a happy birthday. My birthday was actually 2 Sundays ago. I turned the big 49. Yes! I'm so excited about this year and what is in store from the heavens for me today. I'm so elated and excited for good health, great family, and support. So go out there and on my social medias, you'll see the collage of pictures of me and my family and our journey. Life and legacy represents who I am. Creativity represents who I am. I'm eclectic. Basically eclectic. That's how you describe me. And so go out there and support everybody's arena entertainment. I want to say hello to also Timothy Brown. You guys know him as Father MC. Thank you so much for celebrating 50 years of hip hop. Treat them like they want to be treated. Yes, Jodeci, yes, he is in the building. I appreciate his support on the A-List Alert Network TV. I appreciate that. Who else? Let's say hello to Maurice Kilo. He's a part of Sweet Juices Circle, west side of Chicago all day. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much. Also, Ashley Amani, thank you so much for stopping by the page. Nakia Angelo, thank you so much. And then also AK-47, the voice of the streets, also was in the building. New installment, A-List Alert Artist Spotlight is no other than Sequence Clark. This brother tore up his rendition of, if I'm not mistaken, he did the rendition of Chris Brown's Residuals. I'm not sure. I'm going to go back and let you guys know which song he did. But he was an awesome artist. I came across his page. Go out there and support his arena entertainment. Also on the A-List Alert remix, we have none other than Mr. Robert Townsend, famous producer and director. He has been talking about his experience with Beyonce. So go out there and take a look at his interviews. Also on the A-List Alert remix is none other than Sweet Juices 23. She's doing her big one out there on her page. She's making appearances here and there. She also won an award as well. So go out there and support her arena of entertainment. The city of Chicago, the state of Illinois is recognizing her contribution to the community. So go out there and support her arena of entertainment. Also, hip hop, 50 years of hip hop. The legendary Mr. LLCool J. Rock the Bells is in the building on the A-List Alert remix. Thank you so much. He did a wonderful collab with Eminem. Yes, he is ripping it up. And abs for days, ladies. Abs still for days. I just want to say thank you to your mom. I want to say thank you to your wife because you are a beautiful black man. Also on the remix is none other than Mr. Jacob Lattimore. You guys know him from The Chi, the series The Chi. Let me tell you, that was one of my favorite shows on the platform. I mean, The Chi is just a series that you just fall in love with. Between Jacob Lattimore and his hot, steamy scene with Lala Anthony, yes. She was not playing no games. I appreciate her as a cougar in that series with him because they had a chemistry. You thought that stuff was real. You really did. So thank you, Mr. Lattimore. He has new music out as well. So go out there and support his arena of entertainment. And then also, last but not least, is Mr. Ben Ryder Wound. Okay, so let me tell you, ladies. So Alizé, which is the bottling company, decided to do a jingles competition. So me, want to put my hand in everything. I decided to tag a lot of the pioneers of the A-list network TV, the ones that were really, Sweet Juice is 23, I Am Martina Lynch, JJ Cicero, Trey Prada, YFNO Yogi. I was just trying to just think of people that will really be in this contest that could really bring the fire. And remember, all of them, I like them. They're my Jordan All Stars. So, of course, my Jordan All Stars are the team of performers that are anti 360 deal artists who won't sell their souls out. That's just the only thing that I deal with, only people that I want to be able to be a part of the project that I'm working on. And so as a result of that, I tagged Mr. Ben Ryder. I didn't know. I had no clue who was going to jump on it, who was going to take the chance to do anything. So two things happened. So Mr. Ben Ryder won third place third place for his Into the Sun song. So he won that. And then also the song got played locally. So I'm just like on the radio. So I'm like really excited about it. And then he personally thanked me for giving him the recommendation for the Alizé competition. And I just took a chance, say why not? And so God opened up the door for him to be the person to win. So that has been the jam for the whole entire summer. It's everywhere. And if I ever get the Maximum Overload Expo out among the people, I definitely want these heavy hitters as my dream cast. Um, it's just a whole bunch of them. At least the top 10. I love them so much. It's Ben Ryder, one. It's JJ Cicero. It's Sweet Juice is 23. It's I Am Martina Lynch. It's Dottie Stacks. It's Trey Prada. It's YFNO Yogi. I mean, all these heavy hitters that I consider top-notch artists. And the fact that they don't want to sell their souls out. They want to stay bosses. They want to keep control of what they have going out there. I really appreciate their legacy and their craft, which is awesome. And then, so it is what it is. I hope that A-List Alert Network TV gets the opportunity to get Maximum Overload Expo. It'll be like a 50-state tour where we would take the last 3 days of the week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and bring you guys the music. And the reason for that is because we have a lot of homeless people out here that don't have housing, that's dealing with high rent and things of that nature. So if I can do half generated for housing and then the rest of it to actually pay for, the artist and insurance and things like that. I also want the first stop to be House of Blues because I can offer meals and it would justify the cost of the tickets. And so I would love to be able to come out of the warehouse because that's where I've been and really be able to bring the music to the people. On the back end of that, the backstory of all this is basically my dad was a musician and unfortunately he's no longer with us. He gave me music. He also gave this country service as a Navy man. And so with him being a musician, all of our lives have been spent around music, from gospel to hip hop to country western to pop to rock music. All of it I have been exposed to growing up in his house. And so, I listen to Stevie Wonder. I listen to Earth, Wind and Fire and Frankie Beverly and Mays and the Gap Band and Roger and just Shaka Khan and Stephanie Mills and all these entities. Prince. At 12, I had no business watching Prince, but that was a whole. My parents didn't have a babysitter, so they took me to go see Prince under the cherry moon, and I got the opportunity to really experience what music and film was all about, and I fell in love with it. And so I do want to be a filmmaker, but I don't have 80 grand for school. So with that being said, I use my social media to kind of alleviate a lot of that missing out on school and stuff like that. But I really want Maximum Overload Expo to be something that is monumental. I want it as big as my forehead and as big as Lollapalooza because there's so much music out there that helps with just the healing of our world. And we need to have that under one umbrella. And on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I want the general public to do what I enjoy doing: shopping, eating, and music. You see, I'm a 2X. Ain't no shame in my game. I am what I am. But I love the fact that I was able to get the opportunity to see Doug Banks when he hosted the car show in Chicago. And my firstborn was, ooh, he was bitty bitty, little. And so as a result of that, I fell in love because I saw how he interacted with, I was like maybe the second row, and everybody was standing up around him. And I just saw the way that his spirit resonated with the people. And I wanted to be able to do that, to create something that people can find joy in for 2 hours, just enough to, come shop, eat, and listen to some music. The three favorite pastimes that I have. And so I wanted to be able to leave my mark on the world. And this Maximum Overload Expo, it actually started out as a poem that I wrote. And it was an erotic poem that I wrote. I do erotic poetry. So I wrote it, but then it expanded to not just the poetry part. It's in Silent Whispers, Elegant Expressions of Lyrical Bliss. It's out on Amazon. And then also, I wrote that, and then it expanded to the actual expo. And then I landed a job when the babies were little. I was working for Streets and Sanitation, and I landed a job where I was actually able to clean up the McCormick place in Chicago. And they said, well, all these vendors have all this merchandise, and it was stuff like, Disney cups, dishes and stuff. So I had like 2 bags full of Disney uh, stuff for the kids, for the babies to take home. And so with that huge place, I'm like, I would love to see an expo that I create all about music, shopping, and entertainment in a place like this. It's always been my dream to try to create something, a legacy that I can leave to the next generation. And so I would love to be able, without selling my soul out, to create this expo so that we can bring the music to the people. And so my top people, I have the radio Q Jams out of Atlanta, Georgia. They had a top 50 list. And so I read in the comments that, hey, look, you picked this person on your list, but you missed this person. So I jumped in and said, well, if you guys want me to review your music, come on my page and I'll review it and see how good it is. That's how I was able to pick my top 10. My top 10 heavy hitters. I know if I put this expo on, they're bringing all their support, and that will lift me up. And then we work together as a team to make this show a reality. And so my Dreamcast is sick. I'm telling you, my Dreamcast is sick. They can get those bars in and make you feel like $1,000,000, or they can get those bars in and you feel like the scum of the earth. they are they are fired. And this class is the only class that you would have to actually live up to. And it's amazing. It's like Jordan. I got my Jordan All-Star team in music. And I really and truly appreciate their support through this whole entire journey. I appreciate meeting them. I want to work with them. Those are the only VIPs that's the independent that I will even consider A-listers, VIP, top notch. They are in everything that they do, everything they touch, and I grant them the opportunity to come on board and really be a part of this project. It is something that I'm giving to my dad and leaving as his legacy out here, to take the music to the people. And in all honesty, if I'm an honest business person in it, is going to see the light of day. And that's how I feel about it. Whatever you do in this life, put your best foot forward. Don't allow society to stop your dreams from coming forward. I see it every day. You get discouraged because you may be working a 9 to 5, and you really and truly want that dream, that business to come into existence. Put it in God's hands. Put it in his hands, and you will see that he loves you enough to grant you, your heart's desire. But you got to come at him right. If you've messed up, go back to him. That's a parent. He's there for you to reestablish, reconnect, and do the things that you are supposed to do as a person. I want to talk body image. Let me say this. If you are a plus size woman out there, I'm plus size. I'm a 2X. But I work at maintaining what I have right now at the age that I am. I get checked out once a year. You know, my organs, my liver, everything is checked out once a year. I believe that beauty comes in every form, you know, and especially the plus size woman. Beautiful body, thighs, breasts, grown woman shit, for real. And I accept myself for who I am. I don't have to be a toothpick. I don't have to be a size two as long as I maintain the temple that God has given me. And so I come with confidence. I come with knowing that if I stand naked in the mirror, I'm going to love exactly what I see because this body represents children that was made out of loved ones. You know, my breasts have fed nations, created to feed nations. Have they ever fed nations? No, but it helps me to feel beautiful about each and every portion of my belly, portion of my body. It's me. And if you love me like you say you do, then you'll accept me for who I am. I get angry, I get mad, I get upset, I like younger men, I curse. You know, these are attributes that God has to work on me on. But I have dreams as big as my forehead, and my dreams will see the light of day. I know that in all confidence. I don't need anybody else to tell me that. I know who I am. I'm dedicated to the job at hand, and it will see the light of day, no matter how long it takes. It may take another 10 years before you guys see the expo, but I'm here for it because I refuse to sell my soul out. That money is really quick and easy, but it comes with a cost, and I don't want to pay that cost. So I'm going to wait until the time is right for the Maximum Overload Expo to come to your town because we will come. We're coming, and we're not holding back anything. So be of good courage. If you're going through a lot, if you're seeing a lot on social media, be encouraged and know that your existence on planet Earth has a purpose, a destiny, and you can set it up yourself to go after whatever it is that you feel that you're supposed to do on planet Earth. But reach out to God. God will show you what it is that He wants you to do. And I believe that with four kids on my hip, it started out as a poem. It started out as a mere poem in a book. In 2014, I won Pick of the Week by Evatopia Entertainment, who does programming for MTV. I also, when the Obama administration was out, they had the whole campaign, Bring Back Our Girls. Well, one of my projects was awarded, you know, the opportunity to be posted on examiner.com's website. Right over his picture, Obama's picture, was my poem. So, with that being said, the little nuggets of progress is leading up to the expo, and I'm so grateful. Has there been stumbling blocks? Yes, there has been stumbling blocks. I mean, I went to sponsormyevent.com and they promised me 10 sponsors, and I didn't get anybody. But am I going to be devastated or let down by it? No, I'm just going to go through Chicago and see if Chicago will support my project and find the sponsors that's going to lift up my my project. I'm not going to stop. I wrote it out. I believe the vision that's there is going to see the light of day. I mean, even in my gym shoe design, I designed some gym shoes and Puma said no. But just because Puma said no, that doesn't mean that's the only gym shoe company out there. And I believe that one day it again will see the light of day. So hold on to your dreams, whatever they may be. You know, you may have to work a regular 9 to 5 like me. But in the midst of that, you have to still create a vision for your life. Create that vision. When you create that vision, God will show you who hands to put it in. You know, I'm a mom of four. I have an autistic son, you know, but I believe in creating a pathway of success through media, you know. And because I couldn't get the 80 grand to do my education, I decided to do the free route and do this Maximum Overload Expo and create it for people who need jobs, for example. You know, you have to, it's a way around it. It's a way to reach your goal, even if you can't do it the traditional way, so to speak. It's taking me longer. I'll admit, my kids are like, okay, mom, you know, where's this expo at? Where's this expo at? But because I have to go a certain route, because I don't want it easy. If it's easy, then I can't give God the glory in that. If it's too easy for me to just, okay, bam, here's the $500,000 you need. I want the journey to be there. Give me the journey, you know. And so, with that being said, I just want everybody to be encouraged. I want everybody to truly understand that their purpose in life, it means something to somebody. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep talking about my vision, talking about the dream, talking about this expo, because I want it to actually happen, and I wanted to make it happen. And I really believe that it's something that I can leave as a legacy to the next generation. I want to be able to do that. My dad gave me so much inspiration in it. He started his journey through Can TV out of Chicago, and that was his outlet. He was a Vietnam vet, and his pastime was recording, and everybody wanted his stamp of approval on their work down at Chicago Access. It was just amazing because I was there. I mean, I remember my feet couldn't even hit the floor, and I was in his studio watching him give people instructions on how these shots should look, how these angles should look. And I said, you know what? I want to call the shots like that. I want to do what my dad is doing. And so it's something that's very important to me because I want his legacy to be music. I want the world to know how inspirational he was to me and how much I miss him. I miss him and my granny. This is my granny's headscarf. I love her too. Her prayers, all in heaven. But I really and truly believe in the legacy of music that is here. It's unfortunate that we have now been through a situation where BET has decided to pull the plug on the award show. That's crazy. That's really crazy to me because I don't know. I just feel like maybe somebody else could pick it up. Maybe Revolt could come and do something, or but not just let BET Award Show die. That's just really crazy. This world is so fickle. You can't really rely on, the traditions that have been set forth before us to really maintain its structure if we don't hold on to it. It's just crazy. We need the music. It helps therapeutically, it helps therapeutically. So that's what I am. I'm a person that loves music. I'm a freelance writer. I'm a mom. I'm a granny. I'm all of that, and I embrace at 49 everything, every aspect of my body. Okay. So I also wanted to talk about Clarissa Shields, and this is shock value. I'm talking about her because I was really disappointed in her presentation. Okay. So here's the thing with me and Clarissa, this shock value. Okay. So here's the thing. And I had a really big discussion with people on Facebook about Clarissa. I said the following. I said she's not pretty and something else. Her hair is fake or whatever. So that's what I said. So about over 200, maybe 300 people almost agreed with me. And here's why I have an issue with her. In sports, and I grew up, west side of Chicago. My grandmother always after Sunday morning service, we was watching wrestling, we was watching boxing, we was watching Bruce Lee, we was watching Soul Train, we was watching all of that stuff after Sunday morning. And I couldn't dictate anything. It's not my house, okay? So I grew up watching Muhammad Ali, Tyson. I grew up watching Holyfield. I grew up watching Sugar Ray Leonard. And so I always notice like how they act in interviews. I always notice that. So it's not just and being in sales and marketing through direct TV, I learned a lot. So it's not just about the person and their skill. A lot of commenters were saying, well, she won this award or she won that award. Ali, Jordan, and Williams, those names, created a blueprint. Even the people before them in the arena, They created a blueprint on how to conduct yourself in the media, because you have to sell tickets. You have to be able to sell tickets. You have to be able to convince the people to pay $8 for your fight. You have to do that. And so where she fails at is that she's not the most coolest person when it comes to doing interviews. For example, she did that Angela Yee video and was on that platform speaking ill of a woman's plastic surgery. She could get sued for that. You know what I'm saying? She could get sued for uh privacy violation, you know, uh pain and suffering. You know, she could also, wages lost. So for example, if that Caucasian boxer has a deal with Rihanna, and Rihanna says, "Okay, my next fashion show, I want you to participate as a boxer." And maybe Rihanna's requirements are, "I want only natural models to represent my brand." If Rihanna sees Angela Yee's interview with Clarissa, and then she goes back and say, "Okay, you lied, so I'm gonna fire you," that white Caucasian boxer can come back on Clarissa and sue her. So why get it out the mud if you have to give it back legally? Then it's the whole Remy Ma situation and Papoose. That should have stayed off of the internet totally. It should have just stayed off the internet altogether. Don't say anything. And I say that because Remy Ma can still come back and sue her for alienation of affection, because she has all this documented proof of her and Papoose being together and they still are married. That's one of the reasons why I think this divorce is taking forever, because she's trying to gather up all of her evidence to hit him with a lawsuit. So again, I say the same thing. Why get it out the mud if you got to give it back legally? Now she's trying to play cleanup with all the rest of these interviews after the fact. Now everybody's looking at her dress, how beautiful she is, her pictures have improved. She's even gone back to Angela Yee. But here's the thing with me where she messed up. A commentator came to her and said, "Do you feel that there's anything that you need to improve on when it comes to people working with you?" Because she said in the interview she's had a lot of people that have had a hard time working with her. And she absolutely said no. And I'm like, okay, if somebody asks you something like that, that means that you as the individual person need to stand in the mirror and say, what energy am I exuding out into the atmosphere that's making this person ask this question? We all have to do that. We all have to do that. And so I feel that that is the reason why I feel that she is not attractive at all. She can have, everybody's like, "Oh, you can't," some commenters were like, "Oh, well, you should be afraid if she beats you up for what you said." I have a legal avenue. You know what I'm saying? I will be the richest person in the world if she ever decide to come up on me and punch me out. Why? Because I have godparents that are connected to the Rainbow Push Coalition. And that's going to bring out who? Al Sharpton. And we all know his effects on corporate America. Just ask the retailer that had the protest going on, lost money, and left the company, took the money and ran. Then I have the sympathy factor. Oh, the sympathy factor, Bookie. I have the sympathy factor because I can bring in the Cancer Society of America organization. American Cancer Society of America. Yeah. Cancer Society of America. Y'all familiar with that organization? I can bring them in on sympathy, and two mega churches, one in Illinois and one in Nebraska. Yeah, we're not coming for her. No, we're coming for the organization that she represents, which means that I'm going to retire early if she ever decide to put her hands on me. It is what it is. So, like I stated before, I don't like her. I don't like the fact that, and you can say, "Oh, well, she got it out the mud and everything." Yeah, yeah. She keep on disrespecting people in the media. She gonna end up like Hammer financially, because, like I stated before, why get it out the mud if you got to give it back legally? defeats the purpose. What she needs to do is eat some humble pie. She already got knocked out by a guy. I mean, she just feels like she could take on any person, and that's not the case. That's why she got knocked out by the man. They're allowing you into the club. They're allowing you into the club, and for you to go on a public syndicated platform and disrespect the same creed that you want to do business with you is a bad business move. She needs to go back to the basics. She needs to come in with a more effective PR package. She really does, in order to effectively sell tickets and convince people to buy into what she's selling. Because I still don't. And then on top of that, she's comparing dresses with Portia. Portia. Y'all know who Portia is, right? From Housewives. Mm-mm. Portia wore that dress a whole lot better than she did. She did. Even with her hair. Boo fine. Portia killed that dress. And that's what Clarissa. I'm like, Clarissa? You got that dress on, Clarissa? Ooh. Mm-mm. Clarissa's hair. I didn't like Clarissa's hair with that dress. Now, when she wore black and she wore the orange hair, perfect. But that dress that she wore opposite Portia, no, Portia killed that dress. She killed the dress, Bookie. Yes, she did. You do need a stylist. You need to replace the stylist or add on to your style team. Do what you need to do. You can't come out here making excuses. You need to go back and study the greats. Ali is the greatest. And for those of you that have not been watching Ali's interviews, when Clarissa offered that 15 to 20 million, to me, that was an insult. That was a direct insult because Ali is Ali. If Clarissa had snagged BET, she could have changed BET and created BET Sports. And they could have started airing all of her plays, all of her performances. That's what would have made and solidified her into the arena for me. You got BET, we on lock. We on lock. But because she didn't snag it, and then she goes back and proves to them and shows them why they should have never signed her in the first place. You proved it because you went back into the media and she started bashing the network. How are you going to bash the network? It's their decision. It's their company, and you don't own it. You don't own the company. So how can you sit and be mad at somebody that makes the decision to overlook you because you're in the media with all your personal papoose business, and you're not securing the bag. You're not thinking about your career at all. All of that personal stuff about you and Remy Ma, that aced you out of that BET position. I would say it all day. That aced her out of that position because she brought that stuff to the internet. If she would have just stayed quiet and just made her moves in silence, she would have got that BET. She needed that because if she would have got that BET bag, she could have went to BET and said, "You know what? I want to fight Ali, and 15 to 20 million is not enough. What can you guys give me? Do I have a limited access to the bag? Because I want to offer her more." But what she said was the purse had to make sense. This is what Ali said after that 15, 20 million offer. She said the purse had to make sense. And I totally agree. I believe that with her saying that, because she was on a round table and they were hosting another, I think it was ESPN she was on. But Steven from ESPN asked her, what was it? And she said the purse had to make sense. So that let me know that 15 to 20 million was not enough, and it was an insult to the legacy of Ali to offer her something like that. How you gonna offer her shoe budget and think she gonna come out of retirement when she live in lavish? Them networks is paying more than 15, 20 million for her name. Gotta be. She would have been able to offer more had she had BET under her belt and on lock. She should have kept Papoose and Remy Ma no comment because she knew that BET was watching. And she needed to secure that BET bag so she could offer Ali more to come out of retirement. That's what she should have done. But because she didn't, now it's levels. It's levels to boxing. You got to be able to snag the same endorsements as Jordan, Williams, and Ali. They set the blueprint. Don't get mad. It is what it is. That's why Jay Paul was in the ring with Mike Tyson. Smart man. Clarissa needs to humble herself, just like she did an interview with the Breakfast Club about being offered baddies. And she said she wanted to be on there as a mentor. She didn't want to, be responsible for other people's injuries and all of that. She should have taken her behind to Jay Paul and ate some crow and got on his all-girl fight team. That's where she would have made her money. That's where she would have made the bigger impact. She should have done that. But Ali says if you catch her, and you have to catch her interviews. You have to really sit down and listen to her and catch it. She said that if Clarissa and Green are going to get in the ring, she's going to train Green. That's bringing in all of her endorsements to Green. Green is going, if that really happens, Green is going to sweep Clarissa clean. She is. In endorsements alone. Because Ali is going to bring her endorsements to the Green team. That's money. That's networks. That's everything that she could have done had she snagged BET. That's why I say what I said. And then she's talking about, oh, I'm natural from head to toe. Well, we can't pop your head off and just consider you like an action figure. We got to consider you from head to toe. You talking about you all natural. That's what got me. I'm like, wait a minute. You have extensions like me talking about you all natural. Ain't no fake this, ain't no fake that. And I think she had on press on nails. I'm like, okay. But we look at you when we say natural. We looking from head to toe. We can't pop your head off like an action figure and just consider your neck down. We consider what's in your head. And if you have extensions, you're not all natural. She could have said, well, I glam up. She got glam pictures everywhere. I glam up sometimes, but I prefer to be all natural. Then okay. But you didn't say that. That's not what you said. You lied. You lied. And so a lie is a lie. Just like she went back on the Breakfast Club with extensions and makeup. And then she says, oh, I don't care what people think about what I wear. You got chewed up in the first interview. That's why you came back with one tone of hair and a full face of makeup. And that's all makeup is a filter. Everybody's like, oh, well, you talking trash because you got filters and all of that. That's all makeup is a filter. Makeup is a filter. I just did it digital so the makeup don't break my face out. Come for me. Come for me. I want you to. I never said I was a size 2. I never said that. And by the way, those people that have something to say about my size, let me tell you something. I've been a plasma donor for 6 years, and I've never had to put bricks in my pants. Because I get top pay every time. And I'm talking 6 months, $1,400. In 6 months by myself. Last 6 years. I'm doing okay. I praise God. Thank you, Jesus. I'm doing good. I'm doing wonderful right now. So I love my body from head to toe. You cannot body shame me. There's no possible way. Everybody's like, oh, well, your head is this. Yeah, that's a filter picture. You picked a filter picture. I've always had regular pictures of myself without makeup on. And I still say the same thing. I stand behind everything that I said about Clarissa. I believe that Ali is better in interviewing and selling tickets. I believe that Clarissa cannot be a C average person in marketing and promotion and just rely on the fact that she can beat everybody up. That's not going to get it. You have to ace You have to ace the interviews. And because of the backlash that she got, that's why she came back to the same platform to redo the same interview. Because she's trying to gain the sympathy of Black people. And we cannot be used. And remember, ladies, if you are a part of the Curve Nation, are we little girls? Hell no. So, do we tap on doors? Hell no. If you are a part of the Curve Nation, ladies, remember to kick that bitch off the hinges. Love you guys. Take care. Please remember to go out there and like, share, and subscribe on everything. Go out there and support. Also, I've been watching Kai Cenat. He's had Ice Cube on. He's had Tisha Campbell that played Gina on Martin, and he's also had Marlon Wayne. So I've been binge watching that as well. Don't forget that Denzel Washington is back with his Heist movie with Spike Lee. Go out there and support everybody's arena entertainment. Love you guys. Take care. See you on the next video.